Hey guys, I am back with a spree of videos I am filming. Yay! It is the last day of December and the last day of 2018, so I figured I would film a few things that I want to try and get up today. We'll see how that works, because I still have to edit them. But first off, I wanted to do my wrap-up for the buddy read for December. This was something that I started, Bizarre Individual and I started. We're mostly going to be doing it for 2019, but we did throw one read in for December, and that was Yu-Gi-Oh! We both read the first 3 volumes of it. So basically what this is, if you missed the announcement video, is that every month we're going to be announcing a new manga that we're going to be reading together. We'd love for anyone who wants to do it to join us. The more the merrier, obviously. And I'm gonna try and post like a little bit better on Twitter about like how I'm doing throughout the month for the volumes. I'm not gonna lie, I was like terrible with this one because the 12 Days of Anime and Vlogmas like ate my soul for the month of December, and all I was doing was watching videos and trying to keep up on those, and I'm still behind on those. So I was like really bad about reading manga like this whole month. And for some reason I just really struggled with Yu-Gi-Oh! I am not quite sure why. But I got the 3-in-1 from Viz. I will not lie, this is not like the best quality paper. It's really flimsy. You can actually kind of see the lines through the back. And like for some reason this like was cut really weird. So yeah, I had to actually like take scissors and try and trim it because it was cut like off. So I don't really know what happened with that, but it was cheap. I mean, this is only 15 bucks for 3 volumes, which is, considering, you know, it's like $5 for a volume, it's really good. Just some of the other 3-in-1s are a lot better quality than this one is, but it is what it is. So yeah, for some reason, like, I read this one when I was younger and I really enjoyed it, so I was kind of like, oh yeah, reliving my, you know, well, not childhood, I definitely didn't read it as a child, I read it older, but you know, reliving my, you know, when I read it back in the day, and I really enjoyed it, and then I got to it, and I, like, really struggled with this. So, I mean, the basic premise of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm sure, like, unless you've been under a rock, you know the basic premise of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that, Yugi, who's ironically a 10th grader, I thought he was so way younger than that from looking at, you know, him, is always like really into like puzzles and games and everything. So he solves the Millennium Puzzle, which is like an Egyptian artifact, and it contains the spirit of like this master gamer from like the pharaoh times, and he then gets possessed by this pharaoh when something like bad happens, or he's like, you know, righting a wrong or something like that, and he becomes, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! The king of the games and challenges evildoers to the shadow games. And so, yeah, it's basically, a lot of the first volume is basically just, it's the same. It got really repetitious, which I think was bothering me, which I guess is probably okay for an anime, but for the manga it was just a little bit harder to like keep reading, because you're like, oh, it's the same thing again. Yugi's with his friends, something happens, someone bullies someone, Yugi gets upset, like, that same day at night, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Comes and like challenges the bad guy to like a shadow game, and then the bad guy loses. The end. And then bad things happen to the bad guy. Over and over and over again. So yeah, it was just a lot of repetition. They finally got into like the card part of it, because I know like the cards were like a big thing on it. And the second book finally got into the cards and got into you being introduced to Kaiba, who is like the card master. He's the kid who's really into playing this card game, and of course Yugi wins, because Yugi always wins. Obviously, I'm assuming eventually he gets down to the way where I don't remember ever actually like finishing watching this. Like I remember watching some of it, but I never actually finished it. But yeah, it's a lot of the same repetition. So basically the card game, and then we end up meeting Sadie, I think his name is that, who is someone I feel like is gonna play a bigger part in this, because he's basically like from Egypt and he's part of the line that I guess watches after the tombs. So it got a really interesting dynamic with him and Yugi, like ultimately figuring out that I guess there's another person inside of him necessarily, and trying to figure out more about the Yu-Gi-Oh that's in him. And then like the very last part of it was basically you got to meet Kaiba's little brother. So you met him too, and you played a game with him, and of course he lost because Yu-Gi-Oh. I feel like I probably should have said that obviously there's going to be spoilers for this volume, but if I'm talking about this volume, I kind of assumed that you guys would know that, so it might be if you didn't think about that. But yeah, that's, I mean, Bazaar was like, oh, are you going to get the rest of it? Are you going to keep going with Yu-Gi-Oh? And I'm like, I'm not sure, honestly, because it's just, I feel like there's gonna get more into the story. I feel like the first 3 volumes is really not like, it's more like fluff than anything else, even though it's, you know, a lot of dark things happening to the bad guys, but it's not really getting into like the nitty-gritty of like the Pharaoh and everything else. And I know you get like more players into this, because I remember like there's the other 2 that also end up getting possessed by people from the past, and I'm blanking on their names now. So obviously they haven't shown up yet. So I might continue on with it. I think if I do, I'm probably going to hold off for now, just because I have so many others that I'm reading, and this is like not something that like is immediately like I must get the next volume. It's kind of a little bit on the back burner, so I think I'm going to hold off on getting more of this. Definitely not in January because my no-buy, but definitely not. Probably what I'll do is, I guess the next time that Right Stuff has a Viz sale, I might see if they have Yu-Gi-Oh on it, because that's a pretty good price on it, and I might grab some more of it then. But yeah, that's Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm actually excited for the one for January, which is terrible. It's like, sorry Yu-Gi-Oh, but Bazaar and I are both very excited for this one. So we are reading RG Veda from Clamp. There are, these are some hefty omnibuses here. So talk about like good paper quality in manga right here. That's what these are. And there are 3 omnibuses for this one. So I'm not sure how many volumes it is, because I'm not sure if this is how many I'm not sure how many volumes there's in this. I'm assuming, is it 2 or is it 3? I'm assuming it's 2. But I'm very much looking forward to this. I really like Clamp. I don't even know if I actually like read this back in the day or not. Like, I'm pretty sure I owned it, but I don't know if I actually finished reading it or not. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to RG Veda. So, one second guys, I gotta let a cat in. And Buffy's in the room, because Buffy. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to RG Veda. I believe there's a few people that said they were going to definitely read this with us, so I'm super excited for that. But yeah, I'm planning on like posting on Twitter on how I'm doing with this one, because it's definitely a lot longer than Yu-Gi-Oh! And yeah. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys definitely are able to join us through the 2019 on the Buddy Read. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's definitely going to help us get through some of the manga that we have, and frankly help us do a little bit more of reviewing, because I'm kind of like terrible about reviewing, mostly because I can't say the names. But yeah. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys later for the next video. I really talked for 10 minutes on this. good for me. I will see you guys later. Everyone have a very good rest of the day. Bye!